We live in a time where many people feel they must look as attractive as possible all of the time while striving for physical perfection. But if we think about it, the modern smartphone has better photo editing software than anything the world's leading photographers had 30 years ago. If you go onto a social media site such as Instagram, it's clear that many of the photos have been through multiple filters and effects. If we take a look at this selfie I took yesterday, you can see it's been subtly altered. And this constant need to live up to the ideals portrayed on the internet is leading to an increase in narcissistic behaviours, depression and even suicide. This is a fun video, isn't it? And to an extent, even I'm guilty of a certain amount of vanity, a tubby bald mess like me, because if you watch this channel regularly, you'll notice that every 5 to 6 weeks my facial hair suddenly goes jet black. Now at the other end of the spectrum there's the body positive movement, and they say that everyone is beautiful, regardless of shape, size, colour, whatever, and that is a very noble point of view. But they also say that every body type is healthy, and clearly that isn't true. If someone is morbidly obese, well, the clue's in the fucking name. One area where unusual body types are often found is in the porn industry, and as we all know, porn is only ever 2 clicks away. Some of the women who appear in porn films have breasts that look like they're attached to a pair of zeppelins, and as for the gentleman, you could be forgiven for thinking that man appears to have a pillar box where his knob should be. And it's a combination of all these factors that led to 2 men recently arriving at hospital after they'd attempted do-it-yourself penis enlargements. The 2 men had apparently been drinking heavily when they happened across a bogus YouTube video giving false information. I want to make that clear, what I'm about to say is untrue. In the video it was claimed the male member could be instantly enlarged if it was injected with hemorrhoid cream. Once again, that is not true. I'm the first to admit I've done some stupid shit when I've been drunk. Mostly I just ramble incoherently, but I've gone arse over tit many a time or walked face first into a glass door, and as a younger man, on more than one occasion I had to explain my actions to the local constabulary. But I've never got into such a state where I thought what would immediately help this situation is if myself and a male friend got our tackle out. But it gets worse, because they didn't inject their own penises, they did it to each other. Now in my head I cannot come up with a chain of events that would lead me asking anyone to take my old chap in one of their hands and with their free hand ram a hypodermic needle into it. But there is an explanation as to why these 2 men did so. They're French. 2 Frenchmen being warped, perverted, sexual deviants. Suddenly it all makes sense, because when it comes to our cousins across the channel, either they're doing something morally reprehensible and sexually twisted, or they're ramming garlic and snails into their mouths with their hands up in case the Germans decide to invade again. His Royal Highness Prince Philip the Duke of Edinburgh recently passed away, and here in Britain there was a 41-gun salute in his honour. I was half expecting President Macron to call Downing Street and say, "Look, we don't know what's going on, but on behalf of the French people, I offer our unconditional surrender." The day after the injections, the 2 Frenchmen went to hospital with swollen genitals and in considerable pain. But the first doctor they saw insisted on taking a photograph so he could put it on the website for the Lancet. Now imagine being an accident and emergency doctor and thinking, I need to make a record of this so I can share with every other physician in the world what this pair of fucking muppets have done to each other. I'm sure there's a moral to this story, but I'm buggered if I can find it. Don't inject foreign chemicals into your reproductive organs isn't advice most people will need to hear. And those that do probably shouldn't be having children anyway. The 2 Frenchmen from the story, they won't be. They've caused irreversible damage and they're both impotent. I've got it. They found the video on YouTube, so the moral of the story is don't trust everything that you see online. So from me here on YouTube, thanks for watching.